Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Higher Ground in Beaufort. I'm joined this afternoon by Amy Lassane. Hey, Amy.
Hi, Karen.
I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here with you.
We're going to talk about Anchorage 1770 and your Rebo Social Club, which is a new menu restaurant that you guys have and are offering now to the general public. Is that right?
Yes. So the Rebo Social Club is our restaurant that's in the Anchorage, and we have been open now for several months. We started kind of a soft opening with just doing tapas on one of our beautiful porches and cocktails. And now for the past, since January, we've been doing fine dining in the dining room or on the front porch. And when the weather gets a little bit better, we'll go back to doing tapas as well as the dinner on the porches.
Excellent. So what made you guys decide to open a restaurant? Obviously you spent a labor of love, as we all know here in Beaufort, restoring Anchorage 1770 and just creating some really beautiful, well-appointed rooms. And we're having a lot of success and have had some notoriety nationally and even internationally with the inn. So what made you go to the next step?
So my friends joke with me that I was bored. Like, were you bored already? You had to do something. You had to just put something else on your plate. So no, I was not bored. But before, several years back, it was a nice restaurant at the Anchorage, and it was kind of a special place for people to go. You know, a lot of people who grew up here, they had their wedding rehearsal there. They had their prom, dinner there. Their bridesmaids luncheon, and so the locals were really wanting to come back in to the inn. And we just felt we saw a need in the town to have another restaurant. Why not? Right. And so we found a fabulous chef, and he got on board with us, and it's been a huge success so far.
Awesome. So yeah, let's talk about that. So the name, obviously, Rebo Social Club, that comes from?
So back when the Admiral first purchased the Anchorage back in the late 1800s, he had a drinking and gambling and women's club called the Rebo Social Club. And so his wife did not drink, and he would send her overseas, and that's why everyone knows we had these little hidden cubbies all over the house where he would hide his booze, and then
he'd stash things.
Stash his booze and hide them, and I guess she never noticed. And so that was called the Rebo Social Club. So we like to say that we have been closed for 100 years, but we just had a grand reopening. We're the oldest club in town. No, we do not have gambling, but we do have drinking.
You do have drinking. That's okay. We could all use a good cocktail now and then, that's for sure. And you mentioned your chef, that you have a new chef, and it took you a little while to find the right person in order to create the menu, do the food selection, and bring back the Rebo Social Club the way you all envisioned it. So talk a little bit about Byron Landis. He's the chef.
So he's our executive chef. His name is Byron Landis. He is from Kansas originally. When we met him, he was working in Long Cove Country Club on Hilton Head, and we just kind of met serendipitously, and we hit it off and asked him to come on and start the restaurant with us. And we have a lot of the same vision. His food is fantastic. His presentation is beautiful. Everyone who eats there, they just can't believe that they're in Beaufort, South Carolina, eating this fabulous food. So he's been great, and he's already has become friends with all the locals, and
that's good. A way to get food and find sourcing and all that great stuff. So, if people are unfamiliar or with the inn or in Beaufort in general and about the restaurant scene, what kind of food are you guys serving at the Rebo Social Club?
So he tries to use a lot of local ingredients, obviously seafood. So he calls up his seafood people. What fish do you have in that's fresh? So sometimes we'll get fish that's right off the boat. So he always has a seafood option. We started using Sea Island oysters, Frank Ross. So we're using his oysters, and those are delicious. He is from Kansas, so he likes his beef. So he always has a beef dish on there, a fillet typically. He right now has on the menu short ribs that are just to die for. They melt in your mouth. And then a lot of local vegetables.
Produce.
Yeah, produce. And he just puts a little southern twist on everyone's favorite food.
Excellent. It sounds really, really good. So, you talked about regional ingredients, which we know they're plentiful here, whether you choose to go to the farmer's market, either in downtown Beaufort or the one that we have weekly, Port Royal Farmer's Market. But, you can drive a little bit farther out to Libico or somewhere else and probably find some wonderful fresh produce and things to add to the menu.
We just had a man just stop by the other day. He's where we get our honey. So we get our honey from a man who has hives all over Beaufort, and he just happened to be at Beaufort Farm. So he just came back with a big, huge thing of kale and a big bucket of tomatoes. So yeah, it's plentiful,
right? And it's fresh, and that's always nice, and want people to be able to eat nicely, but also healthy when we can, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and what do you think makes you guys different? I mean, do you think it's just the setting and the history in that building that really sets it apart?
I think people love being in that building, whether it's their first time or they've been doing this their whole lives. So I think the building is definitely special. I think the atmosphere in there is fun. We don't want this to feel like it's your special night out. We're trying to get away from that, how it was. We want you to feel like you're in our home. So typically when the guest arrives, they sit in the parlor or they sit on the porch and they have a beverage they order from the menu, and then they hang out with the other guests that are already in the inn, or the locals that are coming in for dinner, and they all hang out in the parlor or on the porch. And then right before the first course is up, the chef will call up and say, "Seat the Joneses," and then the Jones sit down at the table and the food comes right up. So it is like you're in our house.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
A little social time, and
so definitely not staid, very casual.
Yes.
Makes you feel very welcoming, and the place you definitely want to come back to. I mean, you guys have certainly created something beautiful at Anchorage 1770, not just aesthetically, because it is aesthetically pleasing, but that feeling that you get when you walk into some place that you just feel comfortable and cozy.
I'm glad you feel that.
Absolutely, good. Yeah. It's one of those places you just think that you can walk in and open the door and that you're always welcome.
Good.
But some of the things that people should know if they haven't been following Anchorage, or they're not following the restaurant or the hotel scene, but you guys have gotten a lot of accolades since you've opened, and just recently TripAdvisor has given you another nice little notch on the belt.
They have. We have been so lucky and fortunate that people have discovered us, because it's nothing, we don't have anyone in marketing who's going out there and touting us. I don't even know how it's happened, just luck, that we have been hard work, but that the travel writers have found us. And then TripAdvisor, we live and die by TripAdvisor reviews, and we've only been open 20 months. We're new, people don't know us. So TripAdvisor really is so important to us. And so we just got the Traveler's Choice Award.
Yeah.
We're number 13, the number 13 inn in the country. So that was a huge award, and just, it comes from the people who've stayed with us.
Yeah.
So, nothing is such a greater feeling than the people that stayed with you have gotten this award for you. So it's thrilling, it really is.
I know, and you and Frank and Vivi and everybody else who works there really work hard to make it the special place that it is.
We do.
Yeah, and so we're rolling into Film Festival as we speak today, and we know that you guys have certainly done your part to be a community partner, whether it's as the film festival and partner with them this year to sort of support, like we all need to do, some of the wonderful events and festivals that make Beaufort what it is.
Beaufort is so fabulous and has great events throughout the year, but this is our favorite event for the whole year. It is so fabulous, and just as I was running out the door to come over here, we had two different writers who both one has a feature, one has a short, and it's so fun to meet them. They're both from New York, and I can't wait to see their movies. We love supporting this. I think, as we know, it's the 11th year, and Ron and Rebecca have I can't even believe they have done this.
It's an outstanding job.
Such a cute little southern town, and we have this international film festival, and it's so fun. It's such a fun week.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to join us this afternoon.
Thank
We wish you all of the luck with Repossessor Club and continued success with Anchorage 1770.
Thank you so much.
I'll sure make my way down there at some point over the next couple of days and have a cocktail on the porch, if the weather permits.
Yes.
We'll be right back with our next guest on North of the Broad.